Yo, what is up, guys? We're here today with, this week's matches. So yeah, as you guys probably saw in the last video, we played Lancia, Deep Sea King, Hybrid Water. So that was really cool. Looking back at the matches a lot and really thinking about my deck list for the regional. I think the Lancia stuff I am going to stick with. For reasons I'll go over later, but I do think that's probably the right variant. But yeah, so getting into this match today, we won the roll, and we're playing against Tempai Buster Blader. So that was the deck of choice for our opponent, and it was about I could have swore he said it was a 50 card build. So yeah, so we're going first here, and we open. Oh, I didn't see what that was. I mean, obviously we open Pike Dragoons. Oh, whatever. Okay, so we're opening Pike Dragoons here. I saw Gunned Infantry. Oh, so what I liked about this was just like a standard, like get rolled, and these are the combos I practice. This is what I expect. So now it's just like the things I say, can it just flourish and can it actually work? And so this is one of those scenarios where that was like, this was nice to see. So we always make sure our first search is Shrine, because Shrine equals Deep Sea King or Lancia, and that is what we need at all times. And we open a really cool hand. This is one of the reasons why I do want to play more infantry, is because hard opening the infantry is crazy here, because now it makes a Lacia alive, and not even have to search, and that also makes it to where our opponent doesn't know we have it. So. And the minute he picks up DC King, he starts reading it, he has no idea what's going on. And then we also have Gun Defect, so Gun's just crazy here. It gets us the third Pike. You definitely at times kind of miss the shift, but and it does lower the power level of Deep Sea King, but you kind of get this like balance of power levels in other areas. So it's not too bad of a miss. The Pikes are what are important, truly. And you still have Port Voice access with Minstrel and Diva. So yeah, so we get our Lacey here, we get a single Toad. The only misplay I made here is I shouldn't have put my Bahamut in the extract monster zone. I should have kept it down under the Lacia, and then used my Pikes in here for literally no reason to make the Lacia. So that way I had a Bahamut follow up. I tried doing that a couple of times today, where I would leave Bahamuts on board and try and have a follow up Toad right away. And then yeah, we have Imperm set, infantry in hand. He rolled us, and we're like, this is fine. So this is cool. Now it is true that if we did have the shift for our Deep Sea King, we would have gotten double Toad there. So take that as you will. I mean, and it's hard to say because like how important that is, because we also opened Imperm as well. And so I feel like while also opening Imperm, that is an interruption of itself that isn't as strong as Totally Awesome, but it's still very effective. And looking at the fact that our opponent used one card, he's down to 5. We have 3 solid interruptions here. That's not too bad. Plus follow up. But yeah, so he's going through his bestial lines, and I'm not afraid of any of this. And then he goes straight to battle to try and kill the Toad. And so this is when I activate Shrine, and I discard Infantry, which he had no knowledge of, and I get the free pop on the Magnamut. But more importantly, I get to survive the battle phase, which is just like it's always the scariest part. So we were getting our draw. Oh, and he attempts to call by the infantry. So really good on me for not letting myself bait the Totally Awesome on like Lubellion or a Magnamut summon, because I would have got call by instantly, and that would have crumbled us. I probably lose this game if I don't hold the Toad. So let's see here. Now he has Bruce from his follow up, and I don't think this was in battle phase. Oh, it is in battle phase. So he's attacking the Pike because he knows what Lacey does, or he asked me and I told him. And so now I got to set his call by off my Totally Awesome. If I wasn't able to do that, I recycled infantry back to hand with Toad. If I didn't have the call by, I would discard it off Lacey to search here, and I probably still should have done that, honestly, because in the end, the exact same outcome happens. It's just I get an extra search, and I get the buy removed before my turn starts. But I did not Lacey discard the infantry. I held it because I knew I had call by, that I could call by the Vistule if I needed to. So, but then I had Taze in hand off the Shrine draw, and then I drew Prince for turn. And when I saw Prince, it was just like, okay, we're actually just completely cooking. But I still think I should have infantry, or Lacey discarded infantry, pop the Juice Worm, and let him send the Lacey at that turn, because I knew I had Teus, I knew I could search squad, and that just offers combo. but we top deck the prince, so we don't get punished. So yeah, at this point, I think we're just finishing him off. I see he does have a set card. Oh no, I remember what's going on here. Yeah, um, so it's our turn. You know, we're playing off just fine. And what I am currently afraid of is Nibiru. I don't believe I had, at least at this time, I don't believe I had I couldn't see a line that was lethal plus minstrel look at the hand, and there probably was honestly, but I wasn't gonna spend, I didn't want to spend the time to think it through, and that I knew that this combination right here would get me Diva plus Triana in hand, and since I have infantry in my graveyard, Triana, special infantry from your graveyard, and then Diva summon, and then you can continue to play. So I knew I just had to put up, I should have forced lethal, go to battle phase, and then if he, you know, if he kills me, or if he stops me with somehow, or like Nibiru's me, then I have follow up. See, yeah, so we get our Diva and we Triana off the, and then yeah, so Megalo discarded Squad, summoned Shrine, discarded Dragoons, and added Diva. Using Bahamut to, yeah, so I think my main reasoning for making this guy was, so this was actually the first moment where I thought about Leviature Dragon as a potential utility slot that it could have been used here. So that was definitely interesting for me to catch. But I think, am I just linking? I don't remember what I do here. Oh, I'm just going battle phase. Because I guess I wanted to see the nib. I wanted to see the nib first because I knew if he just nibs me, then I can go into Diva and then I can go into whatchamacallit. I can probably get to a Poseidra, discard to summon a bunch. Yeah, because I can make him. Well, I don't know. I have to have a discard. I don't know if I have one. But yeah, so he activates this Buster Blader trap card that summons a Buster Blader from his hand, deck, or grave or something like that. And it's bigger than all my guys. So I'm like, oh, okay. Well, if that's the worst I'm gonna have to deal with, then I think we're okay. All right. So yeah. So at this point, we're just, oh. So I believe as I get into main phase 2 here, he's activating the trap effect in grave, which basically lets him fuse somehow. And so this is a proxy he had to play for, it's this like big Buster Blader fusion. If you play Duel Links, you've definitely seen it. It's like this 3K, something like that, 3500 beat stick. And it basically makes, I think, it turns all dragon monsters to defense mode, and then can attack all dragon monsters in defense mode each. It does piercing, and you get like 1,000 attack for every dragon on the field. But that synchro he's currently reading right there, that's the one that makes all my monsters dragons. So he thought he summoned that made them all dragons, but he did not. He summoned the fusion. So he misput the effect or whatever. So at this point, I'm just like, all right, well, I'm just playing here. So I just went squad. Straight into Poseidra. The reason I did this because I'm still afraid of Nib. I'm aware that Nib is a card, and at any moment he can drop it on me. It could be his last card in hand. So if I at least drop the Poseidra right away, I guarantee that I have follow up. So yeah, so before we're activating Poseidra's effect, we're triggering Triana so we can start filling our deck up back with waters. I really wish I had a second way to recycle. Like I've been looking a lot into like the Silent Sea Nettle as a card you can dump off the Poseidra, because a lot of the times if you're not dropping Dragoons, or there's a lot of viable targets for Poseidra, but in scenarios where you need it, and maybe this is a win more card, but it'd be nice to be able to dump Silent Sea Nettle, just to like constantly recycle waters, like twice as many, and it will recycle Coral, an enemy, which is a big one. Yeah, and it's also level 4 that just specials at the field, so it's not even the worst card in the world. So I don't know, I might play it. It's kind of nice. But yeah, so obviously we did things here. Oops daisy. We're just link climbing. We used Poseidra, we put his fusion back in extra deck, Buster Blader back in hand, and at this point we're kind of assuming that there's Nib is gone, so we're just full comboing from this point. If he nibs here, that's crazy, But then if he nibs here, then we know his entire hand. We know he has one card in hand. It's just Buster Blader, and if it's just Buster Blader, we're probably fine. Although we've used a lot of our engine here, so I actually don't know how much left this deck would have if we had to keep playing this out. I do notice that You know, I used to think that because we had all this water support. Oh, I'm having to real quick. I'm having to link three this Mermail King, so I can have space for the Porpoise double summon. So that's what I'm doing right now. So that's why I use three waters to make it. So yeah, this is in main two. This has been a long turn, indeed. Oh, and here he just scoops it up because that one of the card must have been dead. And then he had Buster Blader, and then I had at least Toad follow up. So he just scoops on that. I don't know. I personally wouldn't. Again, that's definitely a winnable game for sure. I don't know what his deck does, but there's no way. I don't know. I definitely. Well, he did draw for turn, so maybe he did just know it was over. But yeah. So going into the next, he goes first, and I open kind of disgusting, honestly. I opened some sick water combos. So I opened Lightning Storm Ash, which is just disgusting, and I opened like it's like Teus Dragoons and something else. So he's terraforming for Sangan summoning, and he is going first. It's Squad, Teus, and something else. I don't know. Maybe Dragoons. It is Dragoons. That's insane. What a destroying hand. So he searches the Poplar off the Sangan summoning, and so he has like Poplar, so it summons the field, and it tributes summon Dragon from deck. So I do chain the Ash here. Like this seems pretty strong. But then he has the Tempai engraved, but I bet not letting him get whatever Tempai card he was gonna get was good. So like this just locked him down to the cards he currently had. He couldn't extend. This stops further extending potential. So I was happy with this. I think maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I should let him use all the Tempai cards so I can just get it over with. But yeah, so he just links 2 for a seal, and then he sets 2, and it is the Imperm and the trap card that flips all monsters, and if you're a link, you just die. But we just have the Lightning Storm. Oh, and we drew Droplet for turn. We drew Droplet for turn, dude. So he's thinking if I don't know what he's thinking here. My assumption is he's thinking that he wanted to seal, bounce his Imperm back to hand, and then let Seal Effect go off to do whatever it does. I don't know. Excuse me. He really had a hard think about that one, and I'm not sure what he was like thinking about. That was my assumption. But then yeah, Teus into Squad, and obviously you're not spinning the Teus, and then he doesn't respond, and so I'm like Droplet, and that's every card. And so at that point it's just wow. Like I know he can summon a card from deck, but I can't imagine it being that destructive. So at this point we're just playing, and yeah, we're just gonna clean this. So we Teus Squad summon Pike discard Dragoons. So I would search the Diva outright because we know, no interruptions, so might as well just fully extend, get all the bodies you need. We're Brincing. Yeah, not really much to say. I will say, I guess one thing while this is finishing up is I'm very interested in talents. I think I think I should have been playing talents at 3 this past locals, with the hopes of trying to see it more often, because it is a really nice. It does do a lot of cool things. We are getting hand trapped a lot, and it does help with the board breaking. And I think I almost like it more than Minstrel, because the main reason that we want to open Minstrel in the first place because we want to hit Droll. Well, I'm not too worried about Droll and Lockbird. So as long as I have a playable hand, I'm getting to Shrine. And so if opponents can let us search once so they can Droll us, we'll get the Shrine, they'll Droll, we Talents, we look at the hand, and then we snipe. And then we have, we have whatever playable other cards we had. And that just seems... Oh, he just scoops it up. Yeah, that's fair. But yeah, so I think I probably should have been playing 3 Talents. The current list I am looking at is playing 3 Talents. That seems like the way I want to go. I think I've also figured out the side deck. But yeah, I think what I want to do if I have time, guys, is I want to do like a combo, like a test hands video. I really want you for this deck, because I know the hybrid one's really different from what we've been used to, and I would like to show, like, I guess how I like what objectives I have when I'm like playing out hands, and like just going over the same things that we always talk about, where it's like search shine first, send dragoons, so you have the 4 engrave. Just like think of stuff like that. But and like how fast can you search minstrel before you nib, that kind of stuff, and like Mulan counts. But yeah, so I hope I'd be able to do that. I might be able to because there's a couple more holidays left, so got some work off time, so I'll try and fit it in there. But yeah, that's it for this first round. Thanks for you guys for watching, and see you in the next one. All right, peace.